Well, good morning to you folks. Jeffrey Darty here with a pop-up deprogram, a subject brought to my mind by the lovely Cynthia. It seems that a strange Mothman sighting has been reported near a Missouri Air Force base. That's right, folks. Mothman recently sighted near a Missouri Air Force base. Just a quick update for you. There's new eyewitness testimony from a Missouri man who claims that he and his girlfriend were chased by a Mothman-like creature not far from Whiteman Air Force Base in the greater Kansas City, Missouri area. Mothman, of course, is a name given to a humanoid creature reportedly seen around Point Pleasant, West Virginia between November of 1966 to December of 1967. Now, these original sightings of the creature described avian or bird-like features, and the first newspaper report was published in the Point Pleasant Register. It was dated November 16, 1966, and it was titled, "Couple See Man-Sized Bird, Creature, Something." The national press soon picked up the reports, helped spread the story across the United States. The creature was immortalized in a 1975 book, The Mothman Prophecies, which began the lore that there's actually paranormal events related to these sightings when it was connected to the collapse of the Silver Bridge, which we'll look at just in a moment. The book was later adapted into a 2002 movie. So a man identified only as Derek told radio station 100.9, which is called the Eagle, somewhat interestingly, we, speaking of he and his unnamed girlfriend, kept hearing this noise. We walked out to the very back of our yard to the fence line. There's a row of oak trees, and something jumped out of the tree and flew off, and it shook the whole tree. My girlfriend, all she said was, "Did you see those claws?" I said, "Yeah, kind of looked like Batman who flew out of the tree." Interestingly, the original Point Pleasant sightings also related it to Batman, who was actually in the campy TV version at that time. Now, Derek went on to say that the creature had huge wings like a bat and measured over 6 feet in length, so it couldn't have been the Michael Keaton Batman. That's about 5 feet 2 or 3 in length, so it wasn't the Michael Keaton Batman. But anyway, he and his girlfriend were very shaken by the experience, and they didn't fully understand what could have been that size in that tree. Now, on a more serious note, most sightings of a Mothman have been associated with areas about to experience a disaster. What could this mean for the greater Kansas City area of Missouri? Well, folklorist Jan Harold Boonvard notes that Mothman has been widely covered in popular press, and some have claimed that the sightings are connected with UFOs, and others have suggested that there's a military storage relationship with Mothman, that he might actually be kept in military bases. Well, Whiteman Air Force Base is located in the greater Kansas City area of Missouri. It's operated by the Air Force Global Strike Command, and it just happens to be the base for all 19 operational B-2 Spirit nuclear-capable stealth bombers, also some A-10 Thunderbolts. But interesting that Mothman would be seen in this area, and the B-2 itself is a bit bat-like. Now, if disasters are closely following, in many cases, sightings of Mothman, what does this mean for the nuclear payloads that are no doubt stored in the Kansas City area at Whiteman Air Force Base? And just to back this up a little bit, there has been 7 chilling Mothman sightings that allegedly preceded major disasters all the way from Point Pleasant, West Virginia to 9/11 and to the Maui fires. For 13 months, over 100 people reported seeing this strange entity around Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Then on December 15, 1967, the Silver Bridge, which connected Point Pleasant to Ohio, suddenly collapsed during rush hour traffic, plunging 46 people to their deaths in the depths of the icy Ohio River. the timing seemed too perfect, and after the tragedy, the Mothman sightings abruptly stopped. Before the Chernobyl disaster in 1986, workers and locals reported seeing a large black bird-like creature with red eyes flying around the nuclear plant. Some claimed its wingspan was 10 to 15 feet. And again, after the catastrophic meltdown, those sightings ceased. And then, 9/11, 2001, that attack provides another unsettling chapter, because it seems that in the months before the World Trade Centers fell, several people in New York City reported seeing a large winged humanoid figure perched on or flying between the towers and in the general area. One photographer claimed to have captured an image of something large and winged near the location of the buildings just days before the attack. And yes, you know, I'm on the scene. Here's the supposed photo of a Mothman flying in the area of the Twin Towers. And then here's a Mothman. You can see he's right here on the Point Pleasant Bridge, which collapsed. Here's a expanded shot of the Mothman. So there is some photographic evidence for this. The 2011 Fukushima nuclear disaster in Japan followed reports of a winged humanoid in the area. In 2007, numerous witnesses in Minneapolis described a dark winged figure in the vicinity of the I-35 West Bridge, the same bridge that catastrophically collapsed weeks later, killing 13 people. And the 2017 Mexican earthquake, which killed hundreds, was reportedly preceded by multiple sightings of a large winged creature in the weeks before. And before the devastating 2023 wildfires in Maui, several tourists and locals described encountering a tall, dark figure with wings and glowing red eyes near the forested areas that would later burn. So we do have a lot of lore going back to the late 60s. We do have some photographic evidence. So we might want to keep our eyes peeled. We might want to keep our ears open for events coming out of the Kansas City area. This is Jeffrey Daugherty, Real Gospel Truth, formerly known as a Christian whistleblower, with a little pop-up deprogram, just something to think about. And always remember, you don't have original sin. You got the spark of the divine within. You're divine, sovereign, and free. Don't go on bended knee to somebody else's savior. We're the last generation of real humans, and this world will be better than it's ever been, in spite of Mothman. And it'll be sooner than even we can imagine. Jeffrey Daugherty reporting. We'll see you again real soon.